And I see him holding out. So I'm like, well, I better hold out too. Can't be a bitch about this. And like more, it was also, again, like Andy and I are competitive and we're competitive with each other, like when we're talking and things like that on the podcast. And it's on a whole different level right here. Because I'm like, this sadistic, you ain't getting me. You know? And so Tommy holds out for a while. And you can just hear the labored breathing. And they're seeping the water. Now, the water, some of it is escaping through the floor on the hardwood. More on that later. But the ice is all there, and it didn't matter because his hood was already soaked. And so after like 5 minutes, Andy's like, what's 1 + 2? He's like, 3. And they're like, okay, get it off. So what they would do, I actually skipped. This is round 2. All the stress positions, when the video we showed, putting him in transit and him not complying and fucking with him and fucking with all of us and hit it. But they would start to hit me. When you don't answer the question, your friend is going to suffer. What is 1 + 2? Tommy would go 4. And they pulled my shirt up like this. They had it pulled up like this. And you can't see it coming. And they would go, boom, like on my stomach. And then Tommy would answer it wrong again. They go, boom, on my head. And then he'd answer it wrong again. They go, boom, on the other side of my head. And I'm like, okay. And he felt a certain type of way about that because I'm getting hit now, right? But it's nothing like that stuff you take all day. What he's taking right there, yeah, it's nothing like that. So he held out, but at the end before they put him on the ground with the ice water, I think, if I remember correctly, they had him on the ground and were fucking with him. They had been fucking with us for 45 minutes or whatever, and they stopped. And they said, get him up. And again, this is before what we're seeing right now. And they took us and dragged us to the back by where those blown out windows are, and it's light behind the elevator shaft. And they sit us down on the bucket. They say, take off the zip ties. They take off the zip ties. They're like, take off the hoods. They take off the hoods. And they go, and everyone's in front of us, dead serious looking. It's the first time we're seeing everyone since we were abducted. And Andy and dive team guy are serious but calm behind the cameras. All the cameras are set up. The security guards are there. The nurse, who's already horrified, is there. And they're like, okay. They're not like being like, hey guys, how are you? But they're like, we're off. We're going to get live reaction to how you're feeling about what's happening because it's analysis. Okay, we're off. You're not captives right now. We're making the content right now. And Andy and dive team guy did the whole interview, and they would ask us questions. They were very nice, but not like, again.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
hey,
Buddy, not
buddy.
buddy.
Right, but
yeah.
They're like, so when
cordial.
we hit you like that, how did that feel? And my anger towards both of them was going away when we were doing this. Because, like, you do feel, listen, you're a human being. Like, they're doing this shit to you, even in the first round, which turned out to be the easiest round. You're feeling a little mad at him. Like, don't fucking hit my knees against the metal like that, asshole. It's a YouTube video. But no, like, they're like, we're going to make it real. So they made it real. But Tommy and I would answer the questions, and then they're like, okay, are you ready? Yeah, we're ready. Hood, zip ties, let's go. And they take us back, and that's when this starts. Okay, so they put him right down on the floor. I think like right at the start, they put him on the floor. And they start doing what I just described to you with all the ice and everything. So after I think he was there for longer than 5 minutes. He was breathing in that fucking wet hood for a while. It was a while, bro. And I'm hearing, because Andy would say sadistic things, not sadistic, but it would just sound sadistic, and come back and ask the question, and then there would be silence. And like, I couldn't even make out the cameraman. I saw footage later of the cameraman moving around. I never noticed them. I never noticed where they were. They were killing it, man. And so, you know, anything, and that was the other thing that freaked me out. When Tommy was resisting and would do something funny, nobody laughed. Like, nobody, even in round 1, no one laughed. I'm thinking, okay, security guards and Andy and dive team guy are really in character. But I'm like, none of the cameramen? Like, no one's smiling a little bit?
Yeah, no. Everyone was probably mortified.
They were it's not even, I don't even think they could have been mortified yet in round 1. They were in it, bro.
Yeah,
They're like, yo, let's get this shit. Like, for the content, for God and content. But anyway, so he's there for a while, and I keep, in those moments, long moments of silence, I just keep hearing. And again, his head's turned. You can't. The picture doesn't do it justice. His head is turned to the side too, like against the hardwood, going like that. And then finally, Andy comes over. What's 1 + 2? And he says 3. And they're like, get him out, get him out, get him out. So they immediately help him, like it turned off, like a switch. They're like, you good, okay. And so they put a security guard comes over and grabs my arm, and then I hear, and everyone walks to the back. Because they're going to go take him off now, put him on the bucket, and get his live reaction. And I don't know how long they were back there. Maybe it was 20 minutes. You're disoriented.
Yeah,
Could have been 2 minutes,
for
but
sure.
Seeing as they interviewed him, it was probably closer to 15, 20, something like that. And I'm just sitting there, and I'm not in pain. I'm zip tied to the chair. It's not comfortable, but I'm fine. Like, the worst that had happened to me was they've been hitting me when he would answer wrong and shit. Right. And it was nothing, I took some harder slaps from my mom. My mom,
Yeah, no, I get that.
Yeah, that's the Italian side. But anyway, so then after a while, I hear, and they're all coming back, and I can hear the cameras coming back and everything. And then I hear Andy, Julian,
we know the answer to 1 + 2. Did you know the answer to 1 + 2?
Yeah.
So you knew the entire time, and you didn't tell us. That must mean you also know the answer to the capital of the United States, right?
I never got asked.
Yeah. Can you give us the answer to the capital of the United States, Julian?
Guadalajara.
Can you give us the answer to the capital of the United States, Julian?
Guadalajara. You haven't answered our question yet. Your turn, or something like that. I'm going to get some quotes, some direct quotes wrong. I'm going to get themes right. I have not reviewed, I've only seen little bits of the footage. There's only a few lines that I know actually happened, and some I can remember perfectly that I said. It's hard to say exactly what they said, but I just kind of was sitting there, and I realized, okay, Tommy's not coming back. So in my head, I'm like, okay, I guess he's taken off for now because he already got it, right? So he's off. I didn't know that for sure, and I didn't hear Tommy, but I'm like, that must be what it is. So now I'm like, well, now I'm on camera, and this whole act of just being silent and compliant. Again, we're getting content here. I know the business. I'm like, I'm going to have to talk a little bit. But you're disoriented, so your brain is not thinking clearly. I can't come up with off-the-cuff stuff like I can with, doing a podcast or something. And also, when you're under the hood, everything is extrapolated. Small motions feel like impending doom. Someone could just walk from here to here, and it's like, oh, what is that? And you got your hands zip tied behind you, your feet are zip, everything your senses, your sense of space and touch and feel all go through the roof. So you're so on guard that your mouth is almost it's not locked like that, but it feels like it is. So he and I go back and forth. I don't remember. I think they started. I was like, he goes, what is the capital of the United States? And I said, Guadalajara. Just was fun to say. I was like, okay. He's like, that is not correct. And that's not correct. That's a lie. And he's like, I think this was the first time I got transit position. So they put me in transit position. And then I was still like, Guadalajara. And then at some point, I hear something sliding behind me. And it finishes sliding, and then Andy takes me and throws me back. And as I throw back, was it here? Yeah, because they had the zip ties on the front. My zip ties broke. Right here. Now, they were still on my feet. And I will tell you, because you can't see anything and you're disoriented and you've just been thrown back, and I feel it, and it's like a bed. It feels like a gym mat bed, if that makes sense. Like it's that material that you'd roll around on a wrestling mat. That's a good way to describe it.
Okay.
I'm like, oh, that's comfortable. But I come back and my hands are like this, and I know I have people around me, so there's no thought of like, get up and run or anything like that. Like you would think you would have. You're like an infant.
Yeah.
You're like thrown back, like, fucking take my diaper or something. Like, it's so strange. Thank you guys for checking out this clip. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe and hit the like button on this video. It is a huge, huge help. And if you'd like to check out this clip's full podcast episode, that link is in the description below or right here. And finally, you can follow me on Instagram and X by using the links in my description below.